Well, to answer the question, who I am, I'm energy manifested in physical form. I just go by the name Starkim because that's been chosen. But I am energy like we all are energy. So I don't want to get caught up into none of that. My role in this culture called hip-hop is I'm an avid lyricist. I came up under the greats like everybody else. You know, from Big Daddy Kane, Rakim Allah, Cool G Rap, Melly Mel, the Furious Five. You know, all the brothers from the Bronx, the South Bronx. You know, the founding fathers, Cool Herc. All the brothers who came together and gave us a platform. I came up under all that. You know, and unfortunately it's become a little commercialized, but from the beginning of the inception of it, it was about having knowledge and moving within that knowledge, thus hip-hop.
No doubt.
So that's who I am, and that's what I represent.
Indeed.
What do we do to save our brothers from either becoming binded by the contract or break the shackles and free some of our brothers that are contractual slaves?
Well, we got to deal with the degree of them being spellbound. Because a contract is to go against the track or to go against the flow. Con is to go against. So whenever you enter into a contract, you've already entered into a willing participation of going against the natural flow. What you should be trying to tell the young brothers and sisters, and even the elder ones who just are old fools as well, that you should enter into an agreement. So when you do an agreement, it has to be well with your spirit.
You gotta sit.
If I do a deal with the brother Sadnet or with Red Pill or my beloved brothers here and say, does this work for you? We both will agree if it works for the both of us, because there's no con involved. Secondly, we need to start telling the brothers, stop rapping for the money. An older God told me when I was younger by the name of Allah Mine, when I was about 14 years old. He said, never do nothing with the motivation of money. And at the time I needed it because I was young, dumb, full of cum and busting my gun. And what he did was he set me on a path to looking within self. And I couldn't understand because my mother ain't had no money for me. Times was hard on the boulevard, brothers and sisters was getting slain and scarred. I was like, what you talking about, God? I got to get this money. Fast forward to now, because I went through that degree, I know how to approach them now. Stop rapping for the money. Make sure that your words that come out your mouth, which is your direct mathematical equation to who you are, which is self-savior, God, Nader, Netcha, whatever you want to call it, Elohim, Adon, Adonai, whatever you want to do, however you want to put that. You are the creator of your will and destiny. But you don't have to rap for money. Your gift will always make room for you. You don't got to do no connery, no sorcery, or no trickery. If I have something that you need, we can do a fair trade. If you grow bananas and I grow apples, I know you sick of that banana pudding. I got an apple pie for you. So this is the solution to the problem. Instead of us talking about the problems, the solution is remind them that the moment you enter into an action motivated by money, you've already shook hands and did the two-step with the devil himself. And thirdly, we need to go back to 1 and 2. Take the spell bind off. Start teaching our children etymology, which is the study of words, because a lot of our enemy have hidden information in words. So now when they begin to uplift themselves from the spell bind, they will be able to cast new spells. And that would be my way to teach them.
I just want very brief. Brother, we're in a capitalist system. I respect what you just said. But in capitalism, you must never sit on the opposite side of another person and enter into agreement where you are interested in having a financial benefit because you want to provide for your family. You want a certain kind of home. I mean, is it totally wrong to want to excel in a capitalist system and have the fruits of that type of activity?
We didn't start in the capitalist system.
Very true, very true.
This was brought upon us. There are 4 things you needed when you came out your mother's womb. Air, water, her milk, and some rest. And the rest of your life, that's all we've ever needed. All the rest of this is cherry on top of the cake. So you got to give the devil back his bullshit. Stop rapping for money. Your gift will make room for you. You don't have to sell your soul. You don't have to betray your morality. You're gonna get paid, but do you need a house with 50 rooms? You can only sleep in one bed. Do you need 6 cars? We can only drive one. It ain't nothing but a big glorified casket anyway, because you slam into a pole and that's your tune. So at the end of the day, let's give the devil back his bullshit. The shit from a bull is waste. Let's stop wasting our time. Let's stop wasting our talent. Let's stop wasting our abilities. We do not have to enter into a capitalistic agreement, because that's not well with our soul. We always did fair trade. I don't need $1 billion. For what? What is it going to do? But make me a hoarder. And that's dealing with deviation from the righteous path. We've all deviated because we did that 2-step with the devil and thought we was doing the mamba. So we got to leave that alone. Tell Satan, which means shaitan or adversary, you can have that. Because your degrees is adverse to who we are. I don't need to stun on my brother and my sister. That Benz don't make me. I made that Benz. Last time I checked, they made it on a factory, assembly line. We got to get back to becoming the makers, the owners, the cream of the planet Earth, the mothers and fathers of civilization, the gods of the universe. When we get back to ourselves, we have no more enemy.
Regulate everything.
Let's stop trying to get record deals and let's put it out. The internet has already done that. You don't need a record deal. You don't need a job. I see my brothers and sisters out here procuring their own economics. This is what makes us the enemy of J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI and Interpol and co-Interpol, when we are able to become the messiahs, the saviors of ourselves. We don't believe in mystery gods. And nor do we concede to a mystery devil, because the devil is right there in your face. So that's what we need to do, God.
All right, hold up. Do you think the fathers of hip-hop, Eric B., Rakim, KRS-One, I mean, even way before them, do you think they dropped the ball somewhat and lost hip-hop to the South? Is hip-hop dead, brother, or do we still got a hold of it?
Well, the culture is never going to die, because culture is the way of life. Hip-hop is the way of life. How it's presented has deviated from its inception, from what we know and understand. So how it's presented and conveyed is different. It's commercialized. It's monetized. No different than water. When you go to the supermarket, it's 20 versions of water. And last time I checked, that's just H2O. What the hell is that water different from that water? So what the hell is New York hip-hop different from Southern hip-hop? What's being put in or what's being taken out? See, this is dealing with getting to the root. Like I said in the beginning of my bill, we've got to get to the root. Let's stop pointing fingers and realize what happened. The proverbial ball was dropped by all of us because we bought into the capitalistic con. We bought into the stunting and shining on one another. We bought into the dissatisfaction overriding the satisfaction. So hip-hop is not dead. How it's presented has become more demonized because it's deviated from its inception. It was a voice for the voiceless. We use instruments that the well-to-do threw away with. 2 turntables and a mic, that's because they threw those things in the street. It was garbage on the sidewalk. And the ingenuity of our creative people stood out there and seen trash as treasure.
Alchemist.
And now that treasure that was once trash rules the world. And the devil said, I'll be damned if I let this go on without me getting mines. So no, hip-hop ain't dead. And Southern hip-hop is hip-hop. You just got to realize that they're dealing with different realities. West Coast hip-hop dealing with different realities. Japanese hip-hop, different realities.
Different frequency.
Wherever you go, God will manifest himself in a different form, so shall devil.
When you heard about, you next. When you heard about Tupac being assassinated, when you heard about Biggie being assassinated, how did that affect you as a brother?
As a brother, I knew that any one of us could get it. That was my first initial thing. because you see them in a certain light, you figure they're untouchable.
Right.
Because so much love should surround them, and plus they have security, paid security. And evidently that didn't hold no weight. Secondly, I realized that as time went on and nobody came to light as far as being responsible for it, that it's deeper than rap. Not to want to quote Rick Ross, but it's deeper than rap. There are forces and powers that are in activation that for the reasons that they know most, and we can only theorize and speculate on, they brought the demise of those two brothers. And that goes into what I said, we're dealing with the root. We gotta stop dealing with the devil's bullshit. Because the pursuit of that money got us scheming and scamming one another. The pursuit of that dollar has replaced the God within us to the God that exists outside of us. And we'll rape, plunder, and pillage the same way we were raped, plundered, and pillaged for over 400 years in the transcontinental slave trade. Because we went against the laws of nature. We got to get back to nature. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. That's nature.
Fact.
What goes around comes around. That's nature. As it is above, so is it below. That's nature.
That's nature. Natural laws.
When we go against those natural laws, we in trouble. And we are in trouble because we will refuse to come back to our natural law. We still putting on deodorant. Antiperspirant.
Right.
The God just said anti-life.
Right.
Why would you want to go against perspiration?
Right.
When that's your body's natural way of getting rid of toxins from your lymphatic system, which is directly correlated to your immune system.
Right.
They got you running Dwayne Reed to suppress your cough because you don't want to offend nobody on a train.
Right.
You better cough. That's your body saying this is not wanted. You better sneeze. Something is in our body. Chew.
They expel.
So when we say God blessed you, we were acknowledging that for a moment your heart stopped. So your computer, your God between your temples was activated even when your heart stopped. As you dispelled that which was in you. Let's get back to nature, and we're gonna solve our problem with that.
Big homie, what do you feel like if you had a 7-day charge to give the young brothers, the young guards coming up as far as artists, to your point, to your build, what would you tell them just so they can focus on the next 7 days? Some people, you know, are overwhelmed the next 7 months or 7 years, but if you gave like a 7-day charge where they can begin to build on and focus on, what would be a takeaway for the family?
Inhale, exhale, drink clean water, eat right and exact food that comes from the earth, honor your mother and father that your days be long, that's what that means, and get you some sleep.
Yes. Rest the body.
So family, we here with the God body Starkim. All right. The family, first of all, peace.
Peace, God.
No doubt.
Peace, God. First and foremost, I want to say honest to the last time that you did something on the platform. Family wants you to come back. The family wants some more of those gems. The family was saying that it's been a long time since they were able to hear an actual God body share some plus degrees. You dig what I'm saying? It's almost like a drought out here. So I just want you real quick, just let the family know some of the math of the day, the science and whatnot. You know, just talk to them.
Oh, man. But at the end of the day, today's math is always going to be stay on top of what you need to stay on top of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get caught up into the 120 degrees because a lot of people are not familiar with that.
No.
But today's mathematics is always going to be about dealing with self. Knowledge to born, right back to knowledge. Cipher always going to be complete. You know what I'm saying? So the science is always remain true to yourself. And always do what you need to do, dealing with freedom, justice, and equality. You know what I mean? Get to the love, peace, and the happiness. Anything else that's outside the range of dealing with upliftment and buildment is just dealing with pure devilishment. So the mathematics has always remained self, you know? And we all are God body technically because God's body is the temple. The temple.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Make sure you put the right things in your temple. Make sure that what comes out of your temple through your mouth is right and exact. Make sure that it's about upliftment and positivity because negativity is easy. So we're not going to get caught up into what's easy. The road less traveled is the one we want to walk on.
Fact.
Because that's what's going to separate the men from the mice. Get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And that's what's going to eradicate that dissatisfaction within yourself when you start dealing with the higher vibration of self.
Indeed.
Tuesday, the upcoming Tuesday is election day. Niggas out here nervous as fuck, okay? They running around here nervous. I know women have said that if Donald Trump wins, they jumping off of a building. Okay, verbatim. You know, they got our people fear mongering. There's something called the October surprise that has revealed through something called WikiLeaks that Hillary Clinton's chief, one of her chief and staff has been utilizing what is called as, hold on. They've been utilizing something that's called white magic or black magic, Aleister Crowley magic, sex rituals, sex magic rituals, blood rituals, and all kind of satanic stuff. Then something came out about Bill Clinton being part of a pedophilia ring with a billionaire named Joel Epstein. They had a plane that they would get on called the Lolita Express, fly around the world and rape children. Then you got Trump with the white supremacists, with the rise of the KKK and the rise of all of these race soldiers. White people are on code, meaning that they're basically playing the motherfucking code. They know what's about to go down. They're ready for whatever. They're not really talking about it, but we're seeing America fall to pieces in front of us. What would be some of the gems that you could share with the right and exact, with the people that are out there, you know what I mean, to take their minds off of some of this distraction, to take them out of the realm of fear, false expectations appearing real, because nobody knows what's coming. Nobody knows what's going to happen on Tuesday. Nobody knows who the president is going to be. And nobody knows where black people are going to be as a result of that. We can only speculate. So can you share something with the family, some science, some knowledge, dealing with this whole presidential debacle?
Well, the presidential debate is just this, that the presidential election that's coming up in the month of November, you're dealing with a corporation, because when you really look up what a president does, a president is a CEO of a company or corporation. Peace, what's going on, my brother? A corporation needs a president, a vice president, secretary, so on and so forth. So you have to acknowledge that the United States of America is a corporation in that regard. And it's ran as such. You know, if you want to look at the people that run the country, you might want to go look at Britain. You know, and that I will leave the public to do on their own. Do your own homework. I'm not going to think for you. None of us should think for you. What we should do is initiate the desire for you to go and research on your own. You understand what I'm saying? The fear that's created about if Trump gets in, people going to jump off buildings or get on boats and go back to where they ever going to go. Listen, we don't deal with fear. Especially as grown men and women, we don't fear the devil. And we definitely don't fear the unknown. Because we know we have enough light to move past the dark to make whatever's hidden revealed. So whatever you don't know, you will come to know. So we don't fear the unknown. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera. All right? Now, the presidential election has nothing to do with your votes. I hate to bust a lot of people's bubbles. It's predicated upon the electoral college, their votes. You can vote all you want. That is the illusion of choice. And that's another degree that you got to look into. You've been given a few candidates to take a pick. Is that really a choice? Or are you choosing out of the choices that were made known to you? Now, when you look at left wing and right wing, you got to acknowledge that that sounds like it's unified to one body. So whether you go with the left or the right, you're still dealing with the bird. So what's the bird? The bird is in the middle. What's in the middle of the bird? It should be the heart. It should be the brain. So now you need to concentrate on what's the brain and the heart that's controlling the left wing and the right wing. Okay? No president has the power to do anything because there's a whole order that goes on. You have the House of Congress, the House of Representatives, you have the Senate, and then there's the presidency and things of that nature. He can veto some things, he can get vetoed. You're dealing with a game. And unfortunately, people don't understand that the game that's being played is a blood sport. The wicked rulers of this world who operate in the shadows, they playing for death, for keeps. So while you running around here thinking you had a black president, that was propaganda. That was never real. And for those who think that I might be throwing shade, I'm going to ask you this. And all the black men in the world, his father, Barack Obama's father being a Kenyan, from Kenya, a country in continental Africa, and all the Caucasian women in the world. He impregnated a Caucasian woman who was related to all the presidents who've ever lived.
I mean,
The irony of that.
What are the odds?
I mean, you might as well paint me purple and call me Barney, because at that point I'm going for anything.
Pictures in.
Out of all the Asiatic men and all the pale-skinned Caucasian women, she happens to be related to all presidents. And with that note, all presidents are related.
All.
That we've ever had.
All.
So this lets me know that this is a game being ran by the good old boys. And you have to be in that family and that bloodline to even be considered something to do. So no matter who you vote for, you're dealing with the science of the lesser of two evils. And when has two evils been better? When has it been better to choose a weaker evil? Because evil's evil.
Yeah. Powerful, brother. Powerful. Does anybody have any questions for our good brother Starkim?
So where to from here? Where do we go? I mean, okay, I ain't asked you. I'm asking this brother over here. But yeah, where? It's crazy. Donald Trump is on some levels in position to get in the office to do some insanity. How did we get here, and how did we get from here?
Again, this ain't really got nothing to do with us per se. When you look at the Constitution, the African and the African child is not referred to as a human being.
Fact.
This hasn't been corrected. It hasn't been revamped, revised. There's been no addendum to it. This is a document that says that we are not considered people. We're 3/5 of a human being. Still, to this day. And the proclamation that was developed by the President Lincoln at the time, the Emancipation Proclamation, that's a document that emancipated us, never freed us. It just let us go.
Like parole.
Right. Now, with that being said, that has to be renewed every 25 years by a president. What's going to be is going to be. It has nothing to do with us either way it goes down. So whoever's in office, to add on to what he say, whoever's in office, they're going to be in office. You niggas ain't going to do nothing about it anyway.
Nothing. Right.
They shoot us down like dogs, and y'all want to hold hands. Y'all want to march. Y'all won't even throw a rock or a pebble. Why? Because ever since that Rodney King, they changed the frequency of all things from food to the music to keep you docile. When we was whipping ass like they did when they did the transcontinental slave trade and that Rodney King verdict did not go our way, they said, oh, this could never happen again. So all the public enemies done away with. All the conscious vibratorial music that was coming out, done away with.
So you're saying
R&B even got changed.
Right after that, specifically after that time?
That was one of the indicating marker that let them know that they were losing control of us.
And they systematically
they had to.
I never heard this insight this way.
I'm gonna add on.
Okay.
With that being said, no, it's all good, brother. With that being said, we got to realize that the fear that the oppressor has been instilled in us and is regurgitated. The black woman is afraid for the black man because they seen us castrated. We're afraid for the black woman because we seen her disemboweled and babies drop to the floor. Stomped out. Other slaves were implemented with fear when they beat the brakes off of a slave in front of everyone. To keep you from rising. Our nature as men is the sun. That's why we call our mothers sons. S-U-N. We are supposed to rise. We're not supposed to say, okay, you're right. We're not supposed to say in the face of tyranny, you have a badge, so I'm just going to put my hand up. No. I'd rather be carried by the people that's going to carry me than judged by the people that don't know me. So with the voting thing, let whoever's going to vote. We can't change them. There's always going to be 70% satisfied and 30% dissatisfied. We're dealing with the dissatisfied who have no knowledge of themselves. We can't worry about them. The only people we need to be concerned about are those who are aware, because those are the ones that's going to the promised land, the proverbial promised land. Those who have the captivated mind, like the children of Israel. If you look at the story, there were people who were leaving the Pharaoh, going to the promised land, who were holding on to the old way. They were telling Moses and Aaron, at least in Egypt, it was like this. He was trying to get them to a place where they could have their own place, where they could have their own rulership. They could have their own set laws and getting back into the laws of nature. But they were so hard-headed and so dealing with the Stockholm syndrome. And if those that don't know what the Stockholm syndrome is, it's when you've become captured by so long that you no longer realize that you've been captured. And because you've been captured so long, you then begin to develop an affection
For your oppressor.
for the captor, for your oppressor. So now you got your own people who have the same melanin hue as you who will fight you.
Exactly.
When you try to awaken people to the foods that we are given, holds true to that phrase, you are what you eat. If you eat poison, your thoughts and your speech is poison.
Yes.
You eat garbage, your thoughts and your ideas are garbage. So when I come to you as a person who's dealing in a medicinal alkaline frequency, and all you know is cigarettes, screwing, getting high, getting drunk, shooting dice, hitting the club, I'm your enemy. You don't want to hear nothing I said because the veil is over your eyes and the plugs are in your ears. So I'm not concerned with them. I'm not going to cast my jewels amongst the swine because they're going to trample over it, then try to trample over me. I'm going to operate in a frequency of love. For those who want to be taught, they come. We're not going to go out here and beat people over the head. That's what the club is for.
That's what the club is for.
I can't put myself in that position
Thank you.
to waste time trying to convince you or to try to get you to see what you need to see. Everybody's not going to make it, and this is the reality.
You are talking to. You talking to.
We have to deal with this reality.
Me and a lot of people.
Everyone will not make it into paradise. Because if that were so, what we call this experience of life is a waste of time. This is the proving ground.
Exactly.
This is a testament to who you really are.
Right.
Because if we all came and everything was peachy keen, how will we know who was true and who was false?
Right. Discernment.
You got to have love, which is the highest form of understanding, to go through the hell to come out right. What is hell symbolic to? The fire. What does fire do? It purges. It purifies. So the hell that's called the ghetto, which is a term that came during the Jewish Zionist tyranny that was placed upon them by the Germans, the concentration camps was called ghetto. So where we live now, that's called a ghetto. That term wasn't coined by our experience. That term was coined by the experience of the Zionistic Jews, not the real ones, but the pale skin who adapted the philosophy and the traditions of the culture of the Hebrew, which means to cross over the river. They adapted a culture, and their persecution of only 6 million. Yeah, I'm going to belittle it like that because there was over 100 million Africans who died in that transcontinental slave trade. So you do the math, 100 million to 6 million. And this is still being perpetuated to this day because we're still dealing with the mental ignorance. But I'm not going to get caught up into those who don't know the truth. I'm going to focus on those who want to know or those who are aware. And those are the people we need to keep edifying and lifting up.
Yes.
Because they will eventually outlive and outnumber the dissatisfied, unaware, and the hard-headed.
Exactly.
Quality over quantity. Can you make sure that that red light is on? Quality over quantity. Like the brother said, the cream of the crop. Usually, when we do these bills, the average number of the people that either standing in front of the camera or that are definitely out here building is about 5. Your proverbial 5%. While the masses, who are the proverbial asses, continue to scroll by. This shit is like Instagram. It's a continuous scroll of zombies. Meaning that they're operating on a frequency, a brain frequency. Okay? A brain frequency which would, if they were to be hooked up to an EKG reader, it would say that they're legally dead. Right? So the 5% is all you really need in order, like the brother said, to edify our people, to refine the minds of the students who are in the classroom. Going back to what I said earlier, that rests on the shoulders of our quote-unquote elders or olders who should have been out here still teaching or demonstrating or building. They are the ones who have been consuming tons of information for decades. You sell books, you sell DVDs, you know what I'm talking about. All they want to do every Saturday is come and gossip or hate. Okay? That's what they've been doing in Sinetta for centuries. So all I'm saying is this, that we have to adapt and we have to understand fight or flight is in full effect. Hands up, don't shoot, flight. Okay? Am I next? Flight. The sister got a damn shirt over there say stop killing us. Flight. That's not dealing with fight. Okay? This is fight. This is fight. Standing right here, not giving a damn, putting it all on the line. Fighting for the rights for our people to wake the fuck up. We're not running. This is not flight. That's what they got our people in the mode. They ready to run. What do you hear everybody say? Yo, if Donald Trump becomes president, I'm going to do what? Niggas talking about flight. They want to fly away. The birds want to fly away. They want to abandon everything and just give it up. I'm running.
With that being said, where are you going?
Where?
Because
Shit global.
if you don't have the knowledge of yourself to provide food, shelter, and clothing for yourself, that is the curriculum you need to remember. What they teach you in school is to get you to a job. If you take the average one of our people in the wilderness of North America and you put them anywhere on earth, they would die real quick. They don't even know what soil is good to grow in. They don't know what's a poison mushroom, an edible mushroom. They don't know what's an edible berry, a poisonous snake berry. They don't even know how to decalcify their pineal gland to be able to still smell rain before it come to prepare for the storm. We are grossly unprepared. So where you going if Donald Trump does get in, or Hillary? You going where?
You running from where?
You going to another tomb, and all you doing is delaying the inevitable. You will die in your ignorance and in your iniquity. So this is the curriculum, indeed. This is the curriculum you need to know. Can I survive if they was to drop me out of a helicopter in the middle of nowhere? Or will I say, damn, where's my iPhone? Damn, I wish mama was here. Grandma would have knew what to give me for this cold. Do y'all know that?
Let me hit on FB.
Can you survive? Because if you look at the ant, because Solomon says study the ant. The ant is always working. The ant can communicate because it has its antennas. Y'all still in the barbershop chopping yours off.
Permanent.
Can you make yourself prepared and those around you to sustain and elevate and create a quality of life? I don't care about your MS, your BS, your doctorate, your GED, your equivalent to your certificate. None of that means nothing. Can you survive and build for yourself? That is what you need to know. Never mind who's in office, because they're going to do what they got to do anyway. This is a business. We're looking for existential validation. You know what I'm saying? And now what we need to do is realize that if you don't use your brain, somebody's going to use it for you. To close the bill on that note, you're either going to master yourself or you're going to be mastered by someone else. And that goes for a Caucasian, an African-looking person, whoever it is. Because I don't want y'all to get caught up in just a white man. That's a low science right there. Anybody that does not wish you well is your adversary. Anybody that does not want to see you liberated is your adversary. Because I see stories in Africa where we got leaders of African countries who suppress their people because they bit from the forbidden fruit of the oppressor. They do everything to oppress the people. You got warlords in Africa who, by promise of the European counterparts, the Dutchmen and the English and the whatever other person from these countries, promising them wealth and a seat at their table, that are oppressing their own people. You seen the movie about Sierra Leone? If you haven't, check it out. So at the end of the day, I don't want you to get caught up into the color coding. Anybody that's not here to help you build is here to help you destroy.
That is such. I'm sorry, I thought you were done. But I got a question for him that would send him back into a bill. Because, brother, and I know you heard what you said, but you just put something out there on that. It challenges an ideology that it would almost be impossible for any of our true leaders to not pull from. And that's, this white man's the devil. Say it however you want. So now you're saying the vibration can't feed that. And the vibration now has to be, which I think is always general. You don't want any negativity from anybody. I think that's standard. But you're specifically speaking to our interactions with this white man, the European, Esau, whatever you want to call him, that now he should not be out and out, just seen as an enemy. Deal with him from a very tactical position, XYZ, like some of our fathers taught us.
Well, what is it that you're actually asking me?
Are you saying that is no longer the approach? He's not the devil. He's not someone that will always be on the other side of a battle encounter at some level.
Well, historically, all you have to do is just look at their track record. Just look at their track record, and there are specific groups that have been their leaders as a whole, because you got leaders and you got followers. Right now, we have leaders and we have followers. We have people that go wherever the sound is. So not all the Caucasian pale-skinned people have been per se devilish, because they didn't all have the understanding of what their devilishment could be or do for them. But the ones who were astute among them, knowing that the nature of them is to be weak and wicked, kind of guided the rest to follow. You get where I'm coming from? Now, when you're dealing with, is the white man still a devil, all you got to do is deal with the history of what they've done.
Right. So
the Caucasian, I would say, the pale, because I've seen black people with IDs that say they're Caucasian as well. So I don't want to get caught up in the Caucasian being the only description of them. But those who have little melanin production.
Okay, how do we deal with them now?
How do we deal with them now? You deal with them like you would deal with shit on the street. You avoid it. Okay. At all costs. And should you step into it or have to come one-on-one with it, you clean your shoe. Don't engage with it.
I don't know what the percentage. A lot of us work up in it, under it. We got degrees from it.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to
interwoven into the system.
And there's where you have to separate yourself from that which is no good for you. This society is not our society. We didn't create this society. This is their creation. And as long as we still want to play their game, we always going to lose. You can't win a game that you were never meant to win. Never, ever. We were never meant to run this show. We were meant to help facilitate this show as it goes. We were hired hands. Okay? Now what happens is when you no longer want to be a part of the production will eventually fail, have to close its doors, and no longer raise its curtains. But as long as we're willing to be active participants in our own demise by being ignorant to the facts, then we never gonna rise. So we deal with that Caucasian, pale-skinned, low melanin concentrated individual the same way we deal with shit on the street. Avoid it. And should you have to come up upon it, clean off your shoe if you step into it. Detox yourself from it. Every person who's from Africa that's in this country needs to detox from European ideology. You got to detox yourself from saying, I got to hurry up and get this job. You got to detoxify yourself from saying, when I get this degree, I'm going to start doing this, that, and the third. You got to detoxify yourself.
And if I could ask a question to that, I understand it. Is this, and that's why I look back on how Garvey impacted us and how these great leaders came, the Elijah Muhammad. We were connected to the system in different ways at different levels. We have a class, and we've always had a buffer class. That are brothers that are doing well in this, sisters that are doing well in this, that probably tune into this every so often for entertainment, but they don't have skin in the game. Well, they don't think they have skin in the game. So they have like a little, I don't know if they're going to feel this message. So how do we rally that like Garvey and all the others when the conditions haven't united us yet? We got brothers so locked up into this matrix, we may never be able to pull them back. How many of them can we lose and still launch any kind of real revolution where we're going to get our young back, get our economics back, and get our sense of self back?
By nature, we're always going to rise to the top of our class. And again, there's always going to be satisfied and dissatisfied. But what does it mean to be at the top of nothing? This is all false majeure. This is an illusion right here. This is an optical illusion. Even you thinking that they're on top, what are they on top of?
But we measure success by their standards of success.
Right. And we have to no longer measure our success by their standards.
Yes.
That's why we say self-reliance is the greatest science.
Absolutely. I agree with the brother. Self-reliance is the greatest science because you have to be able to deal with self. You are your ruler. You are your governor. You are your master. But if you're not, you will be ruled, governed, and mastered. And then as you're being ruled, governed, and mastered, you'll start to be thinking that you have to be accredited by their measure of success. You're successful by even the production of your melanin. That made you successful because you can come out in the sun. You already been successful. You can breathe. Inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide. You're already successful. You know how to purify water if you're wise. And you know you need enough to stay hydrated, you're successful. You're successful when you say, I'm going to sleep. Damn that double and triple shift. That's a degree of success. When you can say your money is not going to be equivalent to me losing alkaline sleep. Your promotion is not worth me being disconnected from my children, being reared properly. Your status of raising me above my people is not worth me betraying my people. Because that's what hoodwinked us too. The whole civil rights era, when we almost had it together, they gave niggas gigs.
Yes.
They gave niggas positions.
Heads of programs.
They say, you know what, the white man ain't that bad, man. Y'all need to cool on out with all that revolution talk.
That class I was talking about. Yeah.
Because I'm making 50,000 now. Things is all right.
Right.
Now, if you need, I can break you off, fam.
Yeah. But don't make too much noise out there, you know.
But what I need you to do, put that black fist comb back in your back pocket.
Get this perm.
Because we getting ready to go see Sally Mae and them.
Turn that thing on up.
Okay? Now I need you to get that thing together. So what they did was they elevated a few because they're dealing with psychology. You're dealing with a master psychologist.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we as a people got to really realize the true success is when we have the knowledge of ourselves. The true success, being knowledge of ourselves, will cause us to little by little leave the wicked Pharaoh and his Egypt alone. And if we leave America, it will fall in a day. Word is bond.
But leaving it go where, please?
If you got the knowledge of yourself, where you go, you will be. And it will be heaven. Don't play with me with that one.
That sounds so beautiful.
Where we, no, it is. No.
What place?
No, that is literal. That is. If you got the knowledge of yourself, where you go is heaven. When I leave this microphone, I'm in heaven. Because heaven means haven, and haven means a safe place. So I don't give a damn about the devil or his hell.
Now, but that'll be a place, that'll be an economy, that'll be a people, because I hear we need to go back to the continent. Now, I know brothers that go back.
I said we need the knowledge of ourselves. Okay. I ain't talking about no geographical location.
Okay.
The knowledge of yourself is the best part.
Peace of mind.
Yes.
So wherever you go, there you are. If you was a crackhead broke, you a crackhead with money. If you stupid here, you're going to be stupid there.
Exactly.
But if you got the knowledge of yourself, where you go is heaven.
You be God.
You will be God. Self, Lord, and Master. Wherever you go. If they put you in a prison, you still God. When they say, yo, we got the ham sandwich, I'll pass on that.
Exactly.
If you ain't got no fruits, no vegetable, I'll eat air.
Oh my goodness.
You got to be convicted and stand on your square and never ever go for tyranny. There's always an option. Give me liberty or give me death.
Always an option.
So therefore, I'm not afraid of death because I know it's just a release from this physical form. And you can't kill energy. It only transforms. So we're not going to get caught up in the etymology. We're not going to get caught up into the metaphysicals. We're not going to get caught up into the metaphors. We're not going to get caught up into the proverbialness of things. We're going to deal with the actual facts of reality. No spookism, no illusions. If you get the knowledge of yourself, you don't care if Hillary's president, Donald Trump's president, it could be Boo Boo the Fool president. It won't matter because when you go where you go, you stepping in heaven and you walking on yellow brick roads of gold.
Ashay.
Word is bomb.
Ashay. Ashay. Ashay.
I'm not gonna play with him.
The ancestors
Drop the mic.
circling us right now. This energy, the vibration just got, respect.
Because you riled me up a little bit
Respect.
when you came with a sincere question.
That's what I'm here for.
But you spoke from a
That's what I'm here for.
You spoke from a place of our people who are dealing with the nonsense.
That's what I'm here for. But no, Pill, please. That's what I'm here for.
I don't have nothing to say.
Okay. Yeah.
Starkim, talk to the young G's right now. Give them some motivation. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about the young G's that's coming up? You've been in the game from the beginning of this right here. So what is your talk to the young G's on your motivation? What can you tell them brothers to keep it going?
Only thing I can tell you, young brothers, is understand your power. See, we know who wrote the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran. It was our ancestors. We don't believe in no spooks, and we don't deal with religion. We made that for others. But I want to specifically point out this. When the scriptures of the Bible says, in the beginning was the word, I want y'all to always understand that words are mathematical equations. Witches and warlocks call them spells. They taught every one of y'all to spell when you were in elementary. So understand spells is like a word programming coming from word. What you say is what will manifest into the reality. You speak death, death will find you. You speak life, life will find you. You speak health, health will find you. You speak wealth, wealth will find you. You speak disdain, disdain will be your comfort.
All day.
So remember your words. Your words are reality made manifest. So whatever you say, when you're making your beautiful poetry, don't do it just to speak because you got a hole in your face called a mouth. Remember that these words come from a dark matter. And darkness cannot be examined. That's why it's hated. We possess the ability to manifest dark matter in our pineal gland. That is responsible for all living matter. All organisms possess carbon. They call it melanin, but we understand it as carbon. That's why old fossils are carbon dated. Okay? Your words are older than the sun, moon, stars, planets, and anything you see here. So your words come from a hidden place in your thoughts that can't be examined. So when you speak words, understand the relationship that your words have with the reality. Every rapper you know that spoke death, did death not come and visit them?
That's right.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
This is by no mystical chance. This is by the relationship of your thoughts and your words and the universe that responds to it. The universe must respond to you. If you're tired of being broke, you wake up and you use your words and say, I speak wealth at this very moment. And the universe must bend to your will.
So I want to ask you a question, brother.
Ask. He's got with ask. What's your question?
For the youth. We have to get that question.
So now, when I spit, right? Because I'm going to come clean. When I hear conscious music, although I love my brothers and sisters and I want to support them, the conscious stuff is dirt to me. I'm going to come clean. Like, it's just dirt. I don't be wanting to hear it. So now, I more so made a consolidation between the consciousness and the hood shit that people want to hear. So now, when I did that, people are plugged in because they like, oh, that's the gun ball, but he just said something about Eric Garner. So I'm plugged in now. So do you think me manifesting the gun ball, me saying the word, basically, do you think my intent is going to manifest, or do you think the words override my intent?
Great question, Marcus.
That's a great question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. The root word question is quest. You're on a journey. I'm going to show you where you want to go. Never compromise your integrity. You are responsible for what you know. Therefore, if you know no good can come of a thing, don't incorporate it. Why does the gun bar track? Because we're dealing with a low frequency of understanding. What you should do is not stoop down, but cause your audience to rise up. We've been doing the stoop down, and how well has that gotten us?
See, but yeah, pardon me. I never want to cut you.
Now, I want to make sure you can understand it though.
Yeah, my bad. So now I got you. My bad. So now, my thing is, King, I agree with you. It's not like my shit is strictly gun balls. You feel me? Not at all. I reference
Stop right there. Stop right there. Use a better word than shit.
Yeah, pardon me. I respect it. My bad. Pardon me.
No, the reason why I say that is because we use profanity for a lack of better word.
Yeah.
If we continue in that vibration, it makes us lazy.
Yeah.
That's an excuse.
Yeah.
We don't want to give each other no more excuses.
Yeah.
We are going to be God, and that's all we're going to be.
Nah, trust.
We are going to be wise, we're going to be beautiful, and we're going to be strong. We are going to be the best thing that they ever could see. We're not going to say we God and we out here hiding nodding off. We're not going to say we God and we drunk with our pants down on the floor. We're not going to say we God and we calling our woman bitch 100 miles an hour all day, every day. We're not going to say we God and we want to kill each other, rob each other, scheme on each other. So I wanted to correct your language. Now,
Absolutely.
go ahead.
Now, the reason I reference what I reference is because at the end of the day, like I said, when I hear conscious music, as good as much as I want to support it, it's trash to me. So I want to bring brothers up, but I feel like I can only bring them up by way of being able to connect to them on some level. So a brother might want to hear what I'm saying, but if I'm talking about the universe and the stars, he won't want to go research that unless he knows I can relate to him on some level. So that's why I made reference the projects and me not having a pot to piss in and what I might have had to have done in order to get what I needed to get. And then I'll introduce him to the Aragon, the consciousness, the Sonetta. And slowly but surely, by way of attracting, because it's all about the appeal. That's the sex appeal. Like, oh shit, he talking about guns, this, that, and the third, but somewhere he referenced Sonetta. Who's Sonetta? Let me go on YouTube. Boom. I'm researching Sonetta. Who's Eric Garner? What's this, that, and the third? So I'm saying, because you said that our words manifest, and I'm not trying to override the bill, I'm saying that because you said our words manifest, right? At the end of the day, I'm speaking violence in some of my lyrics, but my intent is to speak violence only to attract a certain kind of listener, to introduce him to a different kind of world. So now I'm asking you, does my words override my intent, or do my intent override my words?
Now, real quick,
Your-
let me say something real quick, and I'm gonna give it to you. By you saying the conscious music is like trash to you, that is because you have allowed the white man into your thinking and into your brain. There was a time when there was nothing but conscious music, and that right there was like music to all of our ears. Hold on, because remember, don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. All of us at that time, hold on, all of us at that time, we could relate to the music. But what happened is you got caught up, and it's not your fault. Relax, brother. You got caught up in the crack era, the crack babies, the drug babies. So now what happened is you have been compromised in your thinking, where you think, oh, you know what, that conscious music sound messed up to me, because you've been caught up in that era. But see, in our era, we love, it was nothing else but the conscious music. It was music to our soul. So no, don't say nothing. I want my man to add on to that.
So to add on to what he's saying, when you ask me, are your intentions overriding, or would your message be overriding? Good intentions will pave the road straight to hell. So I don't want you to deal with intention. I want you to deal with knowledge, to know, to apply what you know, so that what you're applying can be seen clearly. Okay? Your motivation should not be dollars and cents. Nor should you think to save the whole world, because it's clear you still need to save yourself. When you save yourself, beloved, those who are in your responsibility will become saved. Because the light is for everyone to see, but not everybody appreciates the light. Some people walk around with shades in the daytime. That's subconsciously saying they don't appreciate that sun. So what I'm saying to you is, let your music, which is filled with words, reflect your highest vibration without compromise, without saying, I intended for you to get, because you don't know what they'll get. I can make a picture right now and 5 people get 5 different expressions. But when I tell you this word is born fact. When I speak the truth, I don't give a damn if you accept it or not. Because if you don't accept it, you are not of my father and my mother. If you accept it, you are of my father and of my mother. If you reject it, I know who you are. You are the synagogue of Satan. So when we speak, we don't deal with intentions, good or bad, because God is God. We use positive and negative. Electricity is formed from negative ions and eons and protons pushing forward. The positive is animation, to bat your legs and put your lips in your mouth. That's what that electricity did. But it came from a negative. And only God can turn a negative into a positive. Without having to say, I'm going to do some negativity to get some positivity. No, we will take what the negative is and then we'll stand right and exact, vertical on the horizontal. Because the plus sign is vertical and horizontal, 360 degrees, 4 right angles. The negative is a subtraction.
Like Nas, when we talk Nas, right? We're not gonna front like Nas ain't have gun bars, but introduced us to the consciousness. We're not gonna front. Nas would talk some shit on his tracks.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there.
Pardon me. Pardon the shit. I'm not low frequency.
I'm familiar with Nas. I'm familiar with those brothers. Okay, I've been in that cipher. Okay, you can look me up. But regardless of that, let me tell you something. All that you're trying to say, I'm going to say it again. Good intentions pave the road straight to hell. Because is not Nas being endorsed by Hennessy? Is not Hennessy a slave, master, owner relationship to the black man? The compromise happens when you get too deep in it with the devil. And you can't let go of that dance.
Can't.
So what I'm saying is you have a chance because you're not in there. Your soul is still in you. Hold on, brother, because this is time for truth. Don't you ever, ever, ever mistake money for success. Don't you ever let yourself believe that the definition of man is by the accumulation of wealth on this planet. Because the real wealth is inside your brain, inside every organ. You worth more dead than you alive. You may not even know that. Because the moment you drop dead, them Caucasians coming for those organs. Why? Because they feed off it. Why is the black woman giving birth to babies and her placentas never sit home with her? Because they eat them.
Right, eat it.
Son, I can't help myself.
They digest it. So what I'm trying to tell you is don't associate making it with money. I don't care about Nas, Jay-Z, or none of them. They got their own path and they got their own hell to go through.
Right.
Don't decipher that wrong.
That's not what
See it right. Because you saying making it and those who don't make it conscious and rappers who making it. Conscious means aware.
Nah. I agree.
Breathe, relax, breathe.
I
Because
agree,
I see
It's all about contrast.
I see your body temperature rising.
Nah, absolutely.
It's because you're being challenged with truth. And it's natural. I've been young before.
Absolutely, King.
So I can relate to you.
I'm listening.
So what I'm saying to you is this. Conscious means to be aware. Don't mean you still won't defecate, urinate, or desire sexual intercourse. Don't get that twisted. Doesn't mean you're not going to see a nice trinket and not want it. Conscious doesn't mean you're not going to see a beautiful person and be attracted. Conscious doesn't mean you're not going to see a nice car and say, that would be nice. I think I look good in that car. Don't confuse the two. But let your integrity, okay, and your desire to be right and exact all day, all night be your motivation. And whatever accumulated wealth comes your way is well earned and well deserved. Peace. I'm going to leave it like that. And I don't even need to hear the rest.
Can I ask Starkim one question?
This is always have to respond. You know, just listen.
This is an important question that I want to impose. That I want to impose to Starkim Allah. So, what you think about gentrification?
As far as what? Add on to the question.
When I'm saying gentrification, as far as the black man concerned, what would be the outcome for the black man once the whole part of New York gets gentrified?
Well, you referring to what is a little more softer out here? That's what you're saying? Like, what do I think about the softness of it? We started this planet in peace, so it shouldn't rock our boats. See, the reason why we came up hard in the late 70s and 80s and early 90s is because devilishment was introduced at a high level, on an experimental level. So we think just getting knocked out for GP was what it was supposed to be. No. That was introduced to us. So gentrification in Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx, whatever you want, North Dakota, South, it don't make me no never mind. See, I'm not caught up into the world politics. It's too much of a job to govern ourselves. You get where I'm coming from? So they can make this whole thing ice cream soft. Or they can make it concrete hard. I'm still going to be God. And I'm still going to hold myself to a high standard of excellence. Excellence means to excel, to move forward, to push on, to persevere. Okay? So I'm not concerned about gentrification. My mind doesn't operate on that low level. No longer. I once operated in that level. Concerned about everything. Who's president? Who's not? How much the gas price? Oh, drop dead. Worried. I'm not worried about it. They could do it. They could turn this thing upside down. I'm still going to stand right up. No matter what they do. We not to be shaken, stirred. We not no James Bond drink. Okay? We men. And we're women.
Yes.
And we form God.
I need to add on. He's gonna add on after this. So when all the neighborhoods and whatnot get gentrified, you don't think that the black people gonna be in turmoil? You know what I'm saying? Where they gonna have to reside when they start raising the rental prices up and they can no longer afford the apartments that they currently reside in? What's gonna happen then?
Either you're gonna find out how to make a home or you're gonna be out here without a shelter. It can't get no more simpler than that. See, I'm gonna give you simple. I'm not gonna hit you with no high sciences. I'm gonna feed you this baby food. Where you at with it? If they took away your food, shelter, and clothing, you better find out how to feed yourself, shelter yourself, and clothe yourself, or you're gonna be naked, homeless, and hungry. Okay? So again, what black people will be in turmoil? Those who were never meant to go into the promised land. Everybody ain't gonna make it. And the sooner you appreciate that truth, the less stress you'll have. If I see somebody smoking cigarettes 100 miles an hour, sniffing coke, shooting dope 100 miles an hour, don't make me no never mind. Oh, they can't come amongst the God. But I'm not gonna come down on you. That's your reality. I'll step right over you if you nodding off in the street and keep on pushing. Okay? Let the police do their job. Let the feds do their job. Let the CIA do their job. Let the black devils do their job. Let the white devils do their job. Your job is to be God. And don't worry. Because when you got knowledge of self, what can shake you? The doctor say, oh my God, you got diabetes. What, you gonna fall out? No, you're gonna say, what does it mean to have diabetes? It means my pancreas is compromised. That means my ability to produce insulin has been compromised. I might want to eat some foods that cater to that region, and the multiplicity of benefits will come because it'll start to affect my entire body. We don't fall out when information comes to us. We process it, we figure out what to do with it, and figuring deals with mathematics. We deal with the mathematics of a situation. Somebody say you got cancer, you don't fall out? No. You know what? Cancer cells, they only survive in an acidic environment. I need to alkalinize my body. Go back to the doctor. Once you've done that process, they say, oh my God, we can't find it. What are you doing? What I was supposed to do.
Handling your God business.
They say, oh my God, you got HIV. What you gonna do? Fall out? No. What does it mean to have HIV? It means my immune system is compromised. I might want to do something about my immunity. I might want to leave poor food quality alone. I might want to stop hanging out with people who are just toxified. I might stop wanting to have toxic conversations. I might want to stop defiling my temple. I might want to put the blunt down and eat the marijuana instead of smoking it.
There you go.
I might want to eat raw food instead of processing it because my body always going to process it already with the 98.6 degrees of body heat. You get where I'm going with this? You wake up today, landlord said, get out. I got to figure out another move. You don't fall out. They want to gentrify Harlem. They want to gentrify the boroughs. They want to gentrify the whole United States. Let them. We don't fall out. Do what you do. I'm gonna do what I need to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because all that thinking you're doing is gonna get you caught up in a bad situation. Because somebody pull a gun to your head, what you gonna do? Are you gonna look at the gun? Or are you gonna start automatically calculating beyond light speed what you need to do? Should I disarm this individual, or should I sit here and rationalize what's going on? Is this man with a gun to my head? No. You better start thinking swift and change the situation. Or you might be looking at your body from an astral plane point of view. You understand what I'm saying?
It's real.
Don't ever get shaken or stirred by nothing they do around here, man.
I'm not me.
No, I'm saying to you, I'm speaking to you because you posed a question and I gave you an answer. Your question's root word was quest. You went on a journey, whether it was for yourself or somebody else or somebody in TV land. I've answered all of you in simplicity and in truth. No specific doctrine, no school of thought was mentioned. I'm giving you bona fide truth, and it's going to stick to the sun burnout and beyond. Peace.
Peace. House of Consciousness.
Starkim, I'm thoroughly impressed because I watched how you dialogue, and it was like a circus going on in front of your face. You feel me? And sometimes I got a hard time with that. Like when people are talking to me, I can't necessarily maintain focus sometimes and stay on my square. That's why when I listen to people, I don't look at them. But to make a long story short, it was a bunch of homosexuals walking past, and you didn't pay them no kind of mind. What I want to know is, A, how you stay. What? Wait, I'm sorry, yeah. What I want to know is, A, how do you stay so, like, just focused, tunnel vision, and B, how do you feel about homosexuals?
Well, my ability to stay focused is because I know how to channel my energy now that I'm a little older. When I was young, I was erratic and sporadic like any young person, because it's just a bunch of energy. When you come into this universe from eternity and you enter what's called time in our mother's womb, and we come out, it's just energy, raw, pure. You know what I'm saying? As you grow older, you develop the ability to take your powers. No different from when you see DC Comics and Marvel Comics. As you notice, in the beginning, they didn't understand the power. They had it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But they had to be taught how to focus the power. So what allowed me to focus was I had a great, incredible teacher called my mother. My mother made sure that I paid attention, and it didn't really cost me much. She made sure that if my homework was sloppy, you will do it all over, and you will miss this Cosby Show. Because you're not going to give me no sloppy homework to sign. Because she knew it was sloppy because I wasn't focused. I was trying to listen to a different world and try to catch a little bit of that Cosby as it's coming on. And she's seen it in my work. So I learned young how to start harnessing my energy and focusing it. So no matter what's going on, my attention is on you because you needed my help because you're still my younger brother. So no matter who's walking around, that's not going to stop me. How I feel about homosexuals is how I feel with anybody else and anything else. Let them do what they do. I do what I do. I have nothing to do with where they stick their sexual organ. It's not my business. Okay? We are all the saviors of ourselves. We all have our own hells to go through and our own heavens to see. Okay? So with that being said, I don't judge nobody because only God can judge. And what that means is if you're the God of self, you judge yourself. And the God that's in them.
Yeah, my bad. So, I understand your disposition about homosexuals, but how do you feel about like their role in the media and the way in which certain black men are portrayed? So for instance, Young Thug, he had an album called Jeffries where this man is wearing a full-blown dress and he has sayings like "we smoking dicks." So how do you feel about this, like homosexuality in relation to the black man, particularly within the media?
Well, I know as far as procreation is concerned, it takes a man and a woman. Because true sexual intercourse is between a man and a woman. Because to enter the course, only sperm can enter the course, because the fallopian tubes or the vagina is the course in which the sperm swim. Recreational activities is just that. It's recreating something. Procreation is for the creation of. Recreation is to do again. You can't make babies from spit. You understand what I'm saying? So with the Jeffrey album, with the Young Thugs and all these other brothers who are doing it, you gotta look deeper into who's responsible for this coming into the forefront. Okay? Leo Cohen is a check writer. That's what he's always been known at, even when his Def Jam time was under his helm. The people who have the money spin the cultures forward. They push the fashion agenda. They push the type of music you listen to. They push the educational setting. They push your allegiances. Because if you're not in control of yourself, you will go with every motion. But when you are Lord of yourself and God of yourself, you govern yourself, they can't push you where you don't want to be pushed. You understand what I'm saying? So, will I wear a dress? No, I won't. You get where I'm coming from?
Absolutely.
Will I judge or condemn and come down somebody's wearing a dress? No, because at any given moment, that person can wake up from that spell of ignorance. Or whatever it is that they're dealing with. It may not even be ignorance. It just may be something that they're prone to do, something that they're drawn to.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
So whatever draws them to doing that, which is against nature, is something they got to deal with. You get where I'm coming from? Because living in this world, we've all done some unnatural things. So it's not in any of our best position to come down on somebody, but to just speak the truth and let them deal with the truth and the facts as they so choose.